Without a doubt, Wildwood is going to be one of the biggest surprises among the movies of 2026. But is this dark animated film actually a sequel to Coraline, or is it a completely new movie? Protagonist. To start off, just like Coraline, the main protagonist of the story will also be a girl who is just entering her teens, meaning she is right at the end of childhood and the beginning of her teenage years. In Wildwood, her name is Prue McKeel, and she lives with her parents. She is pretty much the resident genius of her class, the 7th grade. Prue has a real talent for nature drawing, an encyclopedic knowledge of birds she picked up from a book, and she takes advanced English, which is definitely a lot for a girl her age. In the story of Wildwood, Prue lives with her parents in Portland, Oregon, and has a younger brother named Mac, who is just a baby and is, without a doubt, the person she loves most in the world. However, one day, while she and Curtis, her childhood friend who we'll talk about in just a bit, are at a playground with Mac, the baby is suddenly kidnapped by a flock of black crows and taken straight into the Wildwood. The story basically kicks off right there, with Prue needing to venture into the forest to rescue her brother, while simultaneously discovering that her parents are hiding a terrible secret that might have caused all of this without her knowing. Every single step inside the Wildwood brings new discoveries for Prue, ranging from a society made up of bandits, armies of coyotes wearing military uniforms from centuries past, and an avian kingdom led by an owl prince and a golden eagle. And that is just the beginning of it all. Stick around with us because we are going to blow your mind, villain. If everything we've said so far about Wildwood and a baby getting kidnapped by black crows sounded a bit dark to you, just wait until we tell you the rest about this movie, which is being called the spiritual successor to Coraline, without a doubt. The most sinister person in the entire story is the villain, named Alexandra. She is that woman in the pink dress we see in the trailer, whom we later see talking to Prue at another point in the movie. The title she's actually most known by in the movie is the Dowager Governess. Despite being evil, Alexandra's backstory is definitely very tragic. Originally, she was married and had a son named Alexei. The whole family was happy and lived right in the Wildwood, in a place known as the North Wood. However, on one tragic day during a horse ride, Alexei had an accident and passed away. Heartbroken over his son's death, the boy's father and Alexandra's husband passed away shortly after. The Dowager Governess then made a decision that changed absolutely everything, serving as the catalyst for the story that would one day reach Prue and her little brother Mac. She built a toy with the exact same body and size as her son, and used dark magic to place her late son's original soul inside this fake Alexei. After that, the Dowager Governess and Alexei lived a happy life for a while, until the boy himself discovered that he wasn't a real human, but a toy kept alive through shadow magic. He then tore open his own chest and destroyed the gears keeping him alive, which is exactly the scene shown in the trailer. Just like that, Alexandra watched her son die, not once, but twice. And to top off the villain's tragic backstory, the inhabitants of Wildwood's Northwood found out the governess had used dark magic and exiled her to the South Wood, an area completely overrun by wild coyotes. It's after all of this that Alexandra sends her black crows to kidnap Mac, sparking Prue's quest to rescue her brother. But why does she need the little baby? We'll get into that in just a second, because first, we need to talk about the second protagonist. In the middle of this entire adventure and the mission to rescue Mac from Alexandra, you might remember that at the beginning of the video, we mentioned Prue was with a childhood friend named Curtis the moment the baby was taken by the witch. And the thing is, this boy is going to be incredibly important to the entire story of Wildwood. Prue's classmate, Curtis Milberg, has known her since they were little kids, and they used to dream of drawing comic books together. However, as she grew up, she drifted away from Curtis, even though he still looks up to Prue. And when Mac is taken into the Wildwood, Curtis, despite being absolutely terrified, goes along with Prue into the woods. However, the two get separated there when they are chased by coyote soldiers. The boy is captured and brought to the Dowager Governess, who leads the coyote army. Once there, the villain flatters him and appoints him as an officer in her army, sending him into a battle against the bandits, where he accidentally destroys an enemy cannon and becomes a hero among the coyotes. Now in a position of authority, Curtis discovers that Alexandra's plan is to literally sacrifice Mac, Prue's baby brother, to the magical ivy of the forest, an ancient, magical, and incredibly destructive botanical force that dwells deep within the Wildwood. The ivy is essentially carnivorous and fueled by dark magic. It spends most of its time in a dormant state, but it can be awakened through a human blood sacrifice, which in this case will be Max once Alexandra performs the ritual. When fed, the ivy awakens with terrifying strength and speed. It is capable of growing wildly out of control to devour entire forests, choke out armies, and destroy cities in a matter of moments. Whoever feeds it with blood gains the power to command this force. Alexandra explains all of this to Curtis and offers the boy the chance to share this power with her, which he instantly refuses, leading to him being arrested and thrown into a dungeon. But to avoid major spoilers, we won't say any more about what Curtis does next in the story, but he will be crucial in saving not just Mac, but now all the inhabitants of the Wildwood, whom Alexandra intends to completely destroy with the baby's death. If you're enjoying the video, subscribe to the channel now so you don't miss any new videos. The past. But hearing all of this, one question comes to everyone's mind. Why does Alexandra need to sacrifice Mac, and not just anyone else from inside the forest itself? Well, the truth is that there are two groups of people in the story of Wildwood, the Woodfolk and the Outsiders. However, as the story unfolds, we find out there's a third group made up of Curtis, Prue, and Little Mac, the Half-Bloods, who are children of people from both worlds. That is exactly why the three of them were able to enter the Wildwood, which is protected by a barrier that keeps outsiders from getting in. In other words, Mac and Prue's parents, whom we see in the trailer, are from the wood, or at least one of them is. And more than that, they have a deal with Alexandra that we'll explain better in just a moment. When the girl finally manages to find Alexandra, the witch convinces her that she will hand Mac over as soon as Prue returns home, causing the girl to head back to Portland. However, upon getting home and talking to her parents, the girl discovers that they were only able to have children thanks to the witch's magic. She had made a deal with them, granting them the ability to have babies on the condition that their second child would be handed over to her. This means Prue's little brother was conceived for one sole purpose: to be a sacrifice. That is exactly why at the beginning of the trailer, we see them saying the boy should not leave the house under any circumstances. However, it seems Prue disobeys and takes her baby brother out for a walk, which is exactly when Alexandra gets her chance to take the boy into the Wildwood and execute her terrible, evil plan. All of this puts an even bigger weight on Prue's shoulders, and she immediately returns to the forest with the intention of rescuing Mac once and for all. Other characters. Besides the characters we've mentioned throughout the video so far, there are other important characters in the story of Wildwood that definitely need to be brought up. One of them, and perhaps the most important, outside of those already mentioned, is Brendan, the Bandit King. He's the one we see on horseback meeting Prue in the trailer, and he's also the one leading the Northwood army against the Coyotes in the movie's final battle. We can't give away any major spoilers, but it's thanks to him that the Ivy ends up being controlled and doesn't completely destroy the Wildwood. Other characters who are very important to the story are the rulers of the Avian Principality, a nation of birds. One of them is the Crown Prince Owl, Rex, and the other is the General, a golden eagle who commands the airborne armies of the Avian Kingdom, whom we see Prue riding on the back of through the Wildwood. While Rex is responsible for telling Prue about Alexandra's past and the whole tragedy that indirectly led to the birth of the girl and her brother, as well as Mac's kidnapping to be sacrificed, the General is sought out by Prue for help in stopping the Dark Witch and her plans for total destruction. Aside from them, two other human characters are quite important to the story. The first of these is Richard, the postmaster of the South Wood. He's the one who finds Prue lost in the heart of the Wildwood, the most dangerous and lawless region of the forest, right after she gets separated from her friend Curtis. He's also the one who maps out the political and social geography of the place for the girl, breaking down how the wood is divided into 4 distinct parts: the South Wood, home to merchants and the government, the North Wood, home to farmers, the Avian Principality, and the Wildwood itself. He is also the one who explains the magic of the periphery, the mystical barrier that normally keeps outsiders out. He's the one with Prue when the General shows up to confront the girl before becoming her ally. Another important character in the plot, who also shows up in the trailers, is the elder mystic, Iphigenia. She is the wise leader of the community of mystics inhabiting the North Wood, standing as one of the most respected, peaceful, and spiritually connected figures in all of Wildwood. Iphigenia is incredibly important because when Prue arrives in the Northwood looking for help, she is the one who, after hours of trance and meditation with the council tree, uncovers the Dowager Governess's true goal, sacrificing baby Mac to the magical ivy to destroy the forest. On top of that, without giving away too many details, right when Alexandra is about to sacrifice baby Mac, the Elder Mystic distracts her with a devastating question. She asks if Alexandra would have sacrificed her own deceased son to obtain that level of power. This split-second hesitation breaks the villain's concentration and allows Prue to save her brother. This ultimately leads to the successful completion of the mission to save the boy, allowing Prue and Mac to return to Portland, while Curtis, and here comes a massive spoiler, decides to stay behind in the Wildwood to become a bandit in Brendan's crew, finally finding where he belongs. After all, he also has the blood of the forest flowing from his ancestors. We'll stop here, but you can still keep watching more incredible videos. Just click on either of these two appearing for you. Until next time.
It sound right, boy.